Ian Ward here at LearnTheHarmonica.com. Today I'm going to talk about a simple method for making overblows easier on harmonica. We're going to take the harmonica apart and do a simple technique which is going to make it much easier to choke the blow reed and therefore get the overblow to pop out. Now, there are loads of different things you can do to set up your harmonica. We're just going to look at one basic thing today, and we're not going to talk about the specific overblowing technique except in the context of what we're doing to the harmonica. So if you want to learn more about how to actually overblow, how to set up the harmonica in more ways than this, and how to use overblows in your playing, check out my free trial of my harmonica school. There's a link in the description. That includes loads of courses, but one of them is specifically about overblowing, so you can get that in the free trial. Okay, let's get to the workbench and see what we're doing. Okay, so I've got my harmonica here. I've got a couple of things, a screwdriver, a little toothpick, and I've also got this little feeler gauge, which is going to be useful as well. Before we start, I just want to say that I highly recommend you use an old harmonica to try any kind of customization. Although this is a simple process, you can break your harmonicas if you don't do it quite right, and I don't want that to happen. I can't take any responsibility for you breaking your harmonica, so make sure you're using an old harmonica that you don't mind fiddling with first. And if in any doubt, consult a professional customizer. I'm a harmonica player, not a customizer. My head's too much in the clouds with the music side of things to be heavily involved in the customizing side. So I'm just giving you the absolute basics here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some gapping. Now, gapping is the adjusting of the height of the tip of the reed, and it makes a big difference to us when we are overblowing. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take off these cover plates. Okay, so now what I've got is my comb, that's the plastic bit in the middle, and my reed plates. This is something like what you'll see when you take your harmonica apart, okay? So the cover plates can be out of the way for now. We don't really need those. We'll put them in the screws aside. What we're going to do is adjust the gap that the tip of the reed has between itself and the actual reed plates themselves. Don't know if you can see here. I'm going to put a diagram on the screen which helps you visualize this. Remember that part of the overblowing process is to choke the blow reed. Now, the bigger the gap between the reed and the reed plate itself, the harder that is to choke. So if we narrow that gap, then it's going to be easier to choke that reed and therefore easier to play the overblow, to get that overblow to kind of pop out, as it were. So if we are playing an overblow, the most important reed to gap closely would be the blow reed. Now, my blow reeds are actually on the top here, they're on the inside. I'd have to take this off in order to reach those. So I'm just going to do that now. So now I have got the reed plates off. So these are my blow reeds. Now, these aren't, they've not got massive gaps at the minute. If you were to hold this up to the light, you'd kind of see the gaps. The biggest ones are down on these low notes here. They're not huge, but in order to make them smaller, I can simply just use something to kind of poke. Now I'm going to take the 6 blow reed, because that's often the one we learn to overblow first. So let's say I'm struggling to get that overblow. If I just simply do a little bit of pushing, just gently, I'm trying to not do it too much, just to narrow that gap. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to see less kind of daylight between the reed and the reed plate. So that's kind of the clearance that it needs to vibrate. And the closer that reed gets to the reed plate, the easier it's going to be for me when I pick the harmonica up again and put it back together, the easier it's going to be for me to get that blow reed, then to choke, and then I can push through and play that overblow. So if I just, I haven't put my cover plates on, I haven't even put the screws back in, but I'm just going to hold it together and just play that 6th blow. The overblow is going pretty easily there. Now, one of the risks with this is that if I go too far, I'm going to do it now. If I go too far and there's no gap between the reed and the reed plate, I've gone too far here. Sorry if you can't see that. I'm trying to do two things at once here. If I now play, there's absolutely no gap there. The 6th blow isn't playing at all. I'm trying to play it. I'm playing with all my might. It's not going to play. That's why this is a delicate process. I'm now going to have to push that out again. I'm going from the other side, pushing that 6th blow out again. So there's good reason they don't have them so small when they send them out to you out of the factory. If they're too small, there's no clearance, you can't vibrate the reed, the air can't get through, and you don't get the note. So it's a very fine balance between getting the blow note and then getting the overblow. The players who overblow tend to like the reeds gapped pretty close, but it does mean you can't play the normal note, the normal blow note, especially loud. You can't put that much force in, so you do have to adjust your playing style. I've opened that gap up a bit again. Hopefully my 6th blow will work now. Yep. And the overblow is coming out quite well. It's not going to be that airtight without my screws and without the cover plates on to keep it really nice and airtight. So if I can get the overblow now, I should be okay getting it when I put everything back on. It can affect the tuning as well. I think that the 6th blow is the most crucial thing to gap if you're aiming for that 6 overblow. Conversely, if you were trying to get like the 8 overdraw or something, then it would be the draw note that would be more important to gap. But if you're interested in overblowing and trying to improve your overblowing as a player, it would make sense for the full range of blow reeds, the full range of draw reeds to be gapped all kind of consistently, because otherwise you'll end up with some notes that you can play harder than others, and then it's going to be difficult moving around the harmonica. You're going to have this inconsistency of the kind of amount of pressure you have to use to get the normal note versus the pressure you have to use to get the overblows. So for that reason, it makes sense to gap them all so you've got a kind of consistency across the instrument. So that's it for basic gapping. At this point, I would put my screws back in and the cover plates back on, and I'd have a proper play to test it. Okay, so that's it for this video on gapping. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know how you're getting on in the comments. And if you'd like a free trial of my harmonica school, including a course all about introducing overblows into your playing, then check the link in the description to learn more. If you'd like to say thank you, then please click like. That helps YouTube know to share this video with more people who might enjoy it. And if you want free harmonica lessons every single week, then click subscribe and click the little bell as well so you never miss a lesson. I'll see you again soon. Until then, enjoy your practice. Cheers.